Wham bam, thank you ma'am. Boys and girls, how you doing? It's Wednesday, November 26, 2025. How you doing? Welcome back to the Hat and Beard Show. You guys, we got a super condensed week, which means a little bit of a change in how we're going to handle ourselves. But third verse, same as the first. Obviously, we are preparing for the Peckers tomorrow in a big divisional matchup, week one rematch. But before we talk about that, we are going to talk about a little national news coming out of the NFL. And NFL suspends Panthers Trevon Moehrig for one game after striking 49ers Jauan Jennings in the groin area. I wouldn't say it was in the groin area. Dude full-on nut punched him. But Moehrig is reportedly appealing his suspension, which is his right, but, I mean, come on, guy. Like, dude, you punched him right in the dick. I mean, they're on national TV, no less. Like, bruh, come on now. And what is it with Monday Night Football and people feeling the need to throw fists? Is it something about Troy Aikman? Now, I did see, I think, a commercial and interview. Y'all notice that Troy Aikman is straight jacked? He's straight cock diesel, bro. Like, maybe everyone's feeling the need to, some of that high T is rubbing off from the 80s players onto these low T modern day NFL softies, and they start getting a little buck wild with one another, feeling the need to throw fists. But we will discuss a little bit about Trevon Moehrig and what he did to Jauan Jennings, and then, well, might as well just dive right into Detroit Lions content because it's a short week, which means we got to get ready for the Peckers. The Lions wave 3, make room for players returning from injury. The Lions make 3 roster moves in anticipation of returning players. Bro, stop playing with my backpack strap. Ivor. Hey. 1 second, y'all. Hey, man. Leave that alone. Cat's over here playing with my backpack strap. Thinking, swatting it around. I mean, I don't mind. I just don't want him, fucking it up mid-show. Oops. Well, there goes all our viewership right out of the rip because I can't not swear within the first couple minutes of the show. But we'll discuss about some roster moves, some guys being waived, and what that could potentially mean for our Detroit Lions roster. Let's just go ahead and call it what it is. It's secondary players. We had to cut some secondary players to make room for some secondary players, so no sense in beating around the bush. And then we will take a look over here at Pride of Detroit from the enemy. How the Peckers have changed since week 1 versus the Lions. Peckers writer Justice Justice Moscadia tells us what has changed about Green Bay Packers ahead of Thanksgiving versus the Detroit Lions. What has changed and who could it be now? And then I'm sure you guys have been asking yourselves, those of you who are kind of casual football fans, why the Lions and Cowboys are on Thanksgiving and other NFL Thanksgiving facts to impress your family. This coming to us from the New York Times. We're at The Athletic. That's right. We're going to put on our suit and tie and pretend to be a lot classier of a lad than we really are. We're going to take a little stroll through the pages of the New York Times and see what they got to say. We're just going to kind of briefly pass over it. Now, guys, I'm having a hard time identifying everybody here. Obviously, Robert Porcher, Johnny Morton, the real Johnny Morton, not Johnny Moe screens. Is that Terry Fair? I can't remember who 21 is from back in the 90s. Obviously, this is back at the Silverdome. You see the old turf on the floor. Is that Terry Fair? Am I correct in that? That's Terry Fair. And then I can't remember, but I'm feeling like Gus Frerotte. Maybe I'm incorrect. It's a little bit before my time. Okay, I was born in '88, and it's kind of hard to be conscious of things. But we got a few things in here. I kind of skimmed it just to see. I mean, why not? It's Wednesday. We got to hump our way into the weekend, dude. It's holiday weekend. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. And so we'll talk about that, and maybe you can share some of this information that we're going to uncover and grow, maybe put some wrinkles on our smooth brains so that we can all go out into the world and impress people with our useless football knowledge. That's right. And then, guys, we'll make time probably for this because we're going to kind of fly through today's show. This AI shit is getting out of control. Guys, I got a video here, a little 4-minute video we'll check out later. Gunnery Sergeant Hartman visits Hogwarts. Oh, and what could Gunny have for the Brits over there at Hogwarts? A little something I found. It's just a little something. I mean, why not? Why not just be little yucking it up this day before the holiday weekend? I do have a poll designed just for you in the chat, and that is who shoulders the load on Thursday for the W? And clearly I have a hard time with capitalization in words and just like to randomly select words to capitalize the first letter of. But 13 votes so far. 62% of you are saying ground and pound. Why not lean on Gibbs and let Monty run wild in a Thanksgiving Day Classic? I'm absolutely here for it. 8% of you say Goff in the air attack. Gonna see maybe a little Amon-Ra St. plus 14 catches, maybe a little Jameson Williams plus 200 yards, a couple TDs, and then 36% of you. This is actually the boat that I'm in. Gonna lean into recency bias and hope that the defense is going to continue the trend that they have been on the majority of the season, and that last week was a bit of an anomaly, and that with familiarity amongst our opponent, with Aiden Hutchinson finally getting another sack, getting a little bit back more on track, hopefully having some defensive backs come back, getting that defense retooled and brushed up and polished for the postseason, Kelvin Shepard's going to continue on his monumentous retooling of the Detroit Lions defense, and I think that defense wins championships. So at least that's my own little opinion. Take that for what it's worth, and I do appreciate all of you who have taken a part in the poll so far. We got a bunch of people down here in the chat. A Mad Hatter Nation, Big Honks hanging out. Mr. Detroit City is here. Jack 2125. I think the Lions have a point to prove to the QB, or to Green Bay. They will run the ball and control the time of possession, and that is Jack, my guy. I love every single thing you said, and this isn't to take it away, but it is the KISS approach. Keep it simple, stupid. It's not hard. Pretty hard for their offense to put points up on the board if Jared Goff and the gang is just sitting on the ball for 9 minutes a quarter. I mean, hey, what you gonna do? It's our game, and it's here in Ford Field. I love it, Jack. I'm here for it. Motown Mitch, what up, Doe? How you doing, brother? Hopefully you guys are gearing up for a good holiday weekend. Good morning, Mad Hatter Nation. Go Lions. What's up, Mom? Go you. I see you're using. Guys, I'm just gonna let you know that if Hat's mom is throwing emojis around in the chat, it's a pretty good indicator. She's already a couple of fifths deep. So my mom's good and drunk at 10 in the morning. Good to see. Jay Dompierre, good morning, Mad Hatter Nation. Go Lions. Good morning, Jay. Good to see you, brother. Rick C. hanging out, my guy. Art Vanderlei, morning, brother. Morning, dude. It is an absolutely great day to have you guys here. I identify as male. I'm glad you do, Mr. Detroit City. I think that was a telltale identity with the Mr. and not the MX. If you put MX Detroit City, we'd have a problem. Mixed Detroit City, but you know what I'm saying. Ryan Allen's here. Baby is coming this weekend. I need the script writers to write a Lions win and start it off right. Go Lions. Ryan. Brother, I'm so happy for you, dude. I'm so fucking happy for you, bro. Dude, I don't want to bother you too much because it's going to be a holiday weekend, but I'll text you later today, brother. Congratulations, Ryan. And guys, I've known Ryan for 10 plus years now, dude. We spent hundreds of miles and hundreds of hours in a car just going from dive bar to sling dick jokes to unwanted crowds that did not want to hear our dick jokes. One of my all-time best friends in this world, dude. I fucking love you, Ryan, dude. I'm very blessed that you asked me to be a part of you and your wife's wedding a year ago, dude. I am so happy for you, dude. I am so happy that you are receiving this blessing from God. And brother, Ryan, dude, you are going to be such an awesome dad. You are going to be such an awesome dad, bro. Like, try to not set the bar too high for everyone else, all right, bro? I am so excited for you and your beautiful wife, dude. I can't wait to welcome your child, dude. This is awesome, bro. I'm so excited for you, Ryan. I'm getting a little emotional thinking about it. I'm so excited for you, brother. Congrats, Ryan. Hell yeah, everybody. Give a big shout out to Ryan Allen, dude. His baby's coming, dude. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. I'm so hyped for it, dude. I'm so hyped for it. All right, guys. Go ahead and do the things. Press the buttons. do the bells. Kane, what's up, dude? Did you guys happen to check out American Boxer? What's going on, brother? I want to see confident Jared Goff again. I do too, my guy. I do too, brother. I do too, man. I want Goff to go out there and just absolutely light it up. Maybe get him that espresso that I've been talking about him getting. Is just getting that espresso in, getting a cup of coffee, or maybe a little power nap before the game. We're really waking him up. Living in Houston, Texas. Born in Lansing, grew up around Cadillac and Traverse City. No shit. Damn, American, you've been around, brother. Texas is a hot place, dude. I'm from the Lansing area, and then I got family up in Cadillac and Traverse City, dude. So that's absolutely awesome. Ryan, you're getting a bunch of love in the chat, dude. We are all so hyped for you. Wife has to work, and our oldest daughter is 1,200 miles away. First without her, definitely need alliance. Oh, yeah, Rick, that's right. You said your oldest daughter was going on a trip or something not too long, like last week. I feel like you said it was like last week. Not quite a week, 2 weeks ago, but maybe last week. Somewhere around there. All right, guys, go ahead and do the things, buttons, bells, like, share, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff. We're going to get into this wild and wacky Wednesday show.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
That's right, Rick. She left Sunday for Oklahoma. See, dude, I was close. My time, me and time, dude. Hee ha, hoo ha ha. But hey, man, that's absolutely awesome. Oklahoma's a good spot, and hey, looks like she's getting out right before the snow comes. Because I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to our old buddy Doppler. Of course, I like to drink coffee while watching radar. A little bit of a little storm situation blowing right over top of the old Mitaruski. And nothing we can't handle, guys. But my boss looked at me like I was an asshole when I was like, hey, man, there's this handy little device, this little square, the slave square. You can use it for more than just looking up pictures of boobs. You can actually look at the forecast. There's snow coming. Maybe we should put the fucking plow on the truck. And he's like, no, it's not. I was like, okay, all right then, dipshit. Enjoy that. Sunday was a terrible day. Yeah, dude, I remember you saying you were a little bummed out, dude. I joined the Navy right out of high school, trained in boxing with Roy Jones Jr., and then I joined the SEAL teams. Damn! All right, American Boxer. I see you. Legit badass over here. Damn, brother. That's freaking awesome, dude. I got friends that was in the Navy. I'm going to be honest. I almost joined the Navy when I was like 22-ish. But excuses and excuses. Ultimately, let's be real. Considering your boy is not a fan of swimming or big bodies of water, probably not the best spot for me to be at. You know what I'm saying? Jocko is finally on Sean Ryan's show this week. Tucker again than Jocko. Oh, dude. And I don't know if you guys seen it. Shout out Mr. Detroit City. Jocko just dropped a podcast with the fat electrician on it. I'm slowly getting my way through that. I'm a big Jocko fan. I'm a big old... What's up, sister? How you doing, Brandy Coffee? Good to see you. Good to see you. Do we believe MCDC and the Lions still have that fire and passion and, dare I say, grit to pull out a win, or is that fire burned out? Kane, that is a very good observation and a strong question to be asked. I think that 3 weeks ago that fire wasn't necessarily there, but now I think that it has been turned on, and tomorrow will be an absolute indicator on what the future of this season will hold for the Detroit Lions. Preview dropped last night. Check it out. Also check out Sean and Tucker trying to go all of Sean's toys. Oh, nice, dude. Jocko is a new guy. No, dude. Oh, damn, America. So, all right then. So timeline-wise, would you have been? I'm just kind of estimating your time, dude. You would have been before Jocko, but probably knew a bunch of that stuff, huh? Dude, that's wild that you was in the teams, brother. That's absolutely wild, bro. That shit's nuts, dude. Legit. Mad respect, dude. Mad respect. You know who we don't have respect for? Well, we're used to here in the Motor City, our defensive backs throwing fists. But at least here in Detroit, we put our dukes up and we punch you in the fucking nose. You know what I'm saying? Like, we punch you right in the... I know I'm rock'em sock'em robots fighting like, bully, put them up, put up your dukes. But the Panthers... After I go and say all these nice things about David C. Anals, Trevon Moehrig goes and punches Jauan Jennings right in the old dickarooski. Way to go. Carolina Panthers safety Trevon Moehrig has been suspended 1 game for striking San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Jauan Jennings in the groin area late in the team's 20-9 loss. The NFL announced on Tuesday. Just call it what it is. He dick punched him. You'd sell more. You'd get more eyes on the article if you just said dick punch. Quit saying groin area. And let's be honest, most Americans aren't literate enough to understand what the groin area is. You just gotta look. If we're gonna be a bunch of illiterate dipshits, let's just fully lean in, just full on idiocracy, and just ouch my balls. There you go. Ouch my balls. Late in the fourth quarter, at the conclusion of the run play, Moehrig punched Jennings in the dick. Jennings doubled over in pain and backed away. Yes, because getting hit in the dick hurts. It's a dickhead move. They should have. Now, the only, in my opinion, the actual penalty for this play should have been you official timeout, you freeze the game, okay? You freeze the game, and then you teach people that actions have consequences. Now, I understand Brian Branch punched Juju Smith-Schuster, but Juju Smith-Schuster is a dirty piece of shit that deserves to have his ass whooped. Brian Branch punched him in the face after the game. Now, Trevon Moehrig hit Jauan Jennings in the dick during the game. The only and actually fair justice for this is we go back to the Code of Hammurabi, an eye for an eye. So if you're going to punch me in the dick, then we pause the game. We take both players after Jauan Jennings has caught his breath and that I'm going to throw up or shit feeling has left his stomach. You take both players out to the 40-yard line, and Jauan Jennings gets a free Rochambeau on Trevon Moehrig, and then they are both removed from the game for the duration of the game. When the game ended, 49ers wide receiver sought out Moehrig and threw a punch at the defensive back's head. Jennings had to be pulled away by numerous teammates and staffers. There's Moehrig, the dick puncher himself. Jennings said after the game, he was just responding to some childish behavior. It was out of nowhere. It's probably just the history of me playing ball. I play hard. I'm physically stronger than a lot of DBs out there. A lot of things happen in between the whistle, with me at least. Moehrig said the shot to the groin area was in a response to the physical play throughout the game. So you were getting bullied by a guy, and you decided that the best course of action was to punch him in the dick. Great job. Just a below room temperature IQ move right there. And I just want to shout out, this picture says 1,000 words. Notice the contrast here. Jennings, Moehrig. But notice how it's opposing teams' players who are restraining the other one. And I do just want to shout out, I know it's at the end of the game and players are walking out to the field. But to be fair, at least in this image, the first guy out there is the Keebler Fudge elf himself, old Bryce Young. My only question is Bryce, what are you going to do? Brother, you got one guy who's like, I'm physically bigger and stronger than all the DBs in the NFL, and I bully him around. And another guy who's willing to punch dudes in the dick. Now, not to sound like an old guy or to quote Adam Carolla, but, all of this could have been avoided if you just wore a fucking cup. Now, I'll be honest, come high school there, my senior year, guys were ditching the cups. And I was like, you're fucking nuts. No. My fucking nuts, you have fucking peanuts, peanut butter going on. I don't want to know. Dude, look, football is a very physical sport. And indirect dick punches or accidental elbows, guys moving around, your dick and balls are going to get hit at some point. So, there is this piece of equipment. It's called a cup, and it's totally designed to protect. And look, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Now, there could be, I'm over here saying dick punch. I'm over here. Let's flip this. Let's flip the narrative on its head, boys. Let's flip the narrative on its head. I'm over here calling it a dick punch, right? Which it was. Maybe the Panthers PR team should have gotten to Trevon Moehrig and just been like, hey, no, don't say any of that wild shit. You weren't responding. You were merely looking out for the safety and well-being of your other players, and decided to involuntarily, and that is probably where you messed up. You should have at least notified the individual of this incoming action, but you could try and argue, you were just simply performing a cup check. You were just inquiring. You were concerned about the health and safety and well-being of your fellow players, and just decided involuntarily and without consent to do a cup check. Fucking dick punching maniac. Oh, what a maniac, dude. So are we going to get a team with the smooch bandit Christian Wilkins and old dick punch McGee Trevon Moehrig, and they can just be kissing each other's dick punches? How we feel about this, Mad Hatter Nation? Juju is a punk, isn't he, though, dude? You just have to graze. Yo, American, bro. Am I wrong? Or look, I know the metrics of my audience, so I'm totally comfortable asking this question. Does it not hurt more when you almost just kind of graze your nuts than if you full on? Because if you get a full on impact, at least it's understanding. But it's just the grazing that it's just like, how did something so insignificant cause so much pain? You just have to graze the balls. Jocko's interview preview was awesome. Can't wait for the full interview. Jocko talks about being deployed, coming back each time. His sons grow up each time. He's a frog and didn't even teach. No shit. How he's a frog. Gotcha. Juju's a punk, his son to swim, etc., and the struggles of being a man while serving, etc. So good. Dude, and that's the thing, man. Those guys, dude, they spend a lot of time over there. Jocko used to teach SARS, a combative discipline fighting with full combat gear. No shit, dude. That has got actually fighting in combat gear has got to be physically exhausting. Like way, because fighting itself is exhausting. Now you add on a bunch of gear and shit. Oy vey. First thing I hear is dick and bake. Dick and balls, peanut. Yeah, dude. We're over here just ripping it up, dude. Well, Brandy, you know what I'm saying? Peanut butter. Because, like, I could not wrap my head around how you guys are just going to go out onto a field in a combat sport and just let your bits and pieces just dangle around. Like I'm a gambling man. You guys watch me gamble on DraftKings every single week, and I'm not willing to gamble like that. Are you fucking nuts, you maniac? And we wonder why there's all the rise in testicular cancer, decrease in testosterone. Well, maybe it's because for generations dudes were just abusing their balls. Like, I know this sounds really weird. No cup can actually result in more long-term damage. No shit, Rick. No shit. I did not know that. Now there is the old getting the old bean outside of the old cup there. When you get a rogue nut that pops outside of the cup and then gets pinched between your leg, I will admit that hurts very, very badly. That hurts very, very badly. If the wind blows too hard, it knocks me down to the ground. These are well-paid professional players. These stunts need to stop. Yes, Mother. I appreciate you coming in with the voice of reason. They need to act like professionals. Stop acting like assholes. I didn't realize they weren't wearing cups until my girlfriend pointed it out. Yeah, dude, it's wild. Half of them don't even wear fucking knee pads, dude. Like, we sit here and we talk about players' safety. No more hip drop tackles, guardian caps, the evolution of the helmet. You know what I'm saying? But you're also letting these guys roll out there with no leg pads, no knee pads, no thigh pads, no hip, no tailbone, no nothing, no cup, dude. Like, bruh. There's a part of a happy ending. I'll leave the details to your imaginations. Oh. Rick, dude, a slap shot is the worst. Oh, Jay. Guys, look. You are causing me empathetic pain right now thinking about that. Oh. Like, I'm getting a little bit of that churn in my gut from when you get hit. The worst I ever got was it was like 6th or 7th grade, and we had this like 8 or 9 foot long leather dog leash with a real heavy clasp on the end, And I was being a typical 6th, 7th grader, and I was like, I thought I was a ninja. Swinging it all around, dude. And woo! I Well, I laid on the driveway for about 15 minutes after I just absolutely fucking nailed myself, dude. It was brutal. It was brutal. It was one of the worst things I've ever experienced on myself, and it was self-inflicted. Smart guy. Smart guy. Speaking of smart moves, is it smart to be waving the guys that we're waving? I think so. Let's go ahead and take a look. Lions wave 3, make room for more players. On Tuesday, the Lions announced they have released 3 players from their active roster. Quentin Jefferson, cornerback Nick Whiteside, which I'm pretty sure Whiteside will be back on the old practice squad, and nickelback Arthur Moehrig, confirming a report from earlier in the day. Moehrig, I'm going to be honest, he's a little bit longer in the tooth than, say, a Whiteside. Both of them played well. Moehrig getting that interception against Tampa, But personally, I don't think Maulet's going to make it past claims, waivers, practice squads. I'm pretty sure he'll end up landing on another team's roster. A little bit of a more well-traveled journeyman, especially now as we're heading into playoff pushes. It would make more sense for teams to take a swing on a guy like a Maulet than, say, a Whiteside. And that's nothing against Arthur Maulet. Not the biggest fan of him, but thought he played relatively well at times. Personally, I do think he's deserving. If we're not going to keep him on an active roster, I would like to see the guy finish the season on an active roster just because, you know what, you gave us good snaps from time to time. You came in, you grounded out. And I do feel bad for these guys who go from nothing to active roster back to nothing. It's kind of an unfortunate situation. So best of luck to you, Arthur Maulet. I do hope Whiteside makes it back to the practice squad. Jefferson, a veteran defensive lineman, was originally brought in to help the Lions' defensive line with depth. He was only active in Week 6 and played on 14 defensive snaps and did not record a stat. He's been a weekly healthy scratch since. Well, Jefferson provided some veteran leadership. The return of Aleem McNeil from PUP, combined with extra roster space needed, surely led the Lions to make this decision. Whiteside joined the team mid-training camp, was released at cutdowns, and re-signed to the team Week 6. Whiteside played a vital role in the Lions' Week 7 win over the Tampa, Bay, Buccaneers as part of the Legion of Whom, but has mainly been a special teamer since the Lions' bye week. After Lions returned DJ Reed and Khalil Dorsey, which shout out Khalil Dorsey made a great special teams tackle last week against the G-Men from injury last week. Whiteside was a healthy scratch in a suddenly loaded secondary. It wouldn't be surprising to see the Lions make an effort to return him to the practice squad. And shout out Nick Whiteside, another one of those UFL guys. You know me. Maulet was likely let go for the same reasons just laid out when discussing Whiteside, and could also be a candidate for a spot on the practice squad, as he was the Lions' starting nickel corner for a handful of weeks, which is all the more reason why other teams might take a little bit closer look than just kicking the tires on him. Additionally, the Lions also announced they have re-signed defensive back Eric Hallett to the practice squad. My guy. I like Eric Hallett. I liked Eric Hallett in the preseason. My guy can play all over the secondary. I love those Swiss Army knife players, dude. Hallett has terrific positional versatility. He can play all 5 spots in the secondary. But with veteran Avonte Maddox on the active roster, the younger Hallett can use his time to further develop. And I think he is a comparison to Avonte Maddox in a almost one-to-one comparison. So a little bit of moves. I think this kind of means TA is going to be back. I did look at the practice report. Kirby Joseph was a non-participant in practice. Not the best indicator of his availability Thursday, but I think this is indicator that TA will be back, which personally I'm a big fan of. Slide Amik back into the corner or nickel spot, somewhere a little bit more inside where he can be a little bit more physical and do his thing, and let our TA just roam out there on an island, do his thing, and continue to ascend. Maybe grab a nice little INT on Jordan Love tomorrow. That'd be a nice little bounce back if he's going to be available. Let's keep it over here at Pride of Detroit from the enemy. How the Peckers have changed since Week 1 versus the Lions. Peckers writer Justice Moscadia. Damn, I am a terrible reader. Holy crap. Moscadia. Really? Moscadia? Moscadia. Yeah, it's Moscadia. Am I reading that right? I can't. Oh, geez, Louise. Hook it on, Pahonic, so work it for me. Let's go. On offense, until very recently, the Peckers struggled to beat 2 high defenses. They've been begging to see a blitz for weeks, but even in Week 3 against the super hyper-aggressive Jim Schwartz, they didn't get it. Schwartz turned the offense into a check-down machine while playing 2 high shell at the second highest rate of his more than 2-decade-long career of calling NFL defenses. Wow. I mean, I knew Jim Schwartz has been around for a long time. That's absolutely insane that was the second highest rate he's called a too-high shell in his 20 years in the NFL. Wow, that's impressive. You guys remember when Jim Schwartz was the coach of the Detroit Lions? Isn't Jim... Look, I never had anything against Jim Schwartz. I kind of liked his moxie. But does he not just kind of give off, like, Dan Campbell light? Like the dollar store version of Dan Campbell. Like, he's kind of rah-rah, but not as rah-rah. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, yeah, we're going to get up and we're going to bite you on the knee, and it's going to hurt. Dan Campbell's like, we're going to bite your kneecap straight off. Last week, Green Bay was able to run the ball against Minnesota. Since there was no real threat that JJ was going to put points on the board, the Packers only played 3 receivers about 1/3 of their snaps, but played a 6th offensive lineman, Darian Kennard, at tight end about 1/3 of the time. Between Kennard usage and swap of Anthony Belton, rookie second-round pick, and Jordan Morgan, second-year first-round pick at right guard, the Peckers have leaned into getting bigger up front to open up holes for their backs. They really want to force the issue if teams are playing too high looks. Matt LeFleur looks at these opportunities as must-win situations, even though the team hasn't been able to successfully execute that game plan until recently. Successfully. I need to learn to enunciate. Successfully execute that game plan until recently. Enunciation. For the most part, the Peckers have just beaten up on bad run defenses, giving them false confidence in the unit. Jesus Christ. Offensive injuries, yeah, Jordan Love's got a ding chicken wing. Jacobs also he missed last week's game. Hopefully he misses this week's game. Matthew Golden's out. Tucker Kraft's done for the year. Jaden Reed should be back for the game on Thanksgiving, but he's still on injured reserve as of Monday night. If Reed can't go, it'll be a combination of Golden or Dontavian Wicks in the slot this time around. Center Eggleton Jenkins has struggled over the last 2 years, but is now on that injured reserve. In his place, Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan. Crazy. That's crazy. Hope I'm reading that right. Who previously rotated in at right guard, has moved to center for the first time in his NFL career. He didn't have a poor snap last week against the Vikings, and he's generally played the position better than Jenkins since the move. Yeah, until he meets old DJ Reader. On defense, the big thing to watch here will be the cornerbacks. Real quick, Mad Hatter Nation, real quick. We're kind of flying through things. Sorry about that. I don't mean to slow you guys down. Guardian caps don't do much either. It's not the impact that causes concussions. It's the sudden stop. The concussion is typically the opposite side of the impact spot. You are correct, Rick C. And those Guardian caps actually only show a reduction in concussions on a very specific type of impact, and that is they really only protect the back of the head. Like when you're going back and you're the bounce, it's the bounce of the back of the head off the ground. That's really what the Guardian caps kind of protect against. Other than that, they don't really do anything. And like you say, it's not so much the impact; it's the sudden stop. It's the shifting of the brain in the skull that really causes it. It's not the hit that causes it's the whip, the physics of it, really, the transition of energy. How about let's talk strategy, using Montgomery early to pound Green Bay's defense and make play action work, and then bring Gibbs as they start breathing hard. American boxer. I am 100% in agreement with you on that. That is my approach to things. Wear them down with the physicality of Monty, and then let Jameer just goose them. Just goose them. You know what I'm saying? Just while they're sucking wind, here comes a fresh-legged Jahmyr Gibbs getting up to 23 miles an hour, just goosing them. Those are disappointing cuts. I think I can think of a few less useful options. Rick, I agree with you. I'm pretty sure, though, that Whiteside will be back on the practice squad. I would be more surprised if Mollett makes his way back to Detroit, simply because, again, like I laid out before, a few more years in the league, a little bit more polish. Why are my neighbors outside just being weird? God, they're fucking weird. And he had a couple of big plays, played decently okay, and I'm assuming that a team that needs a little bit depth would go after a Mollett than a Whiteside, so again, I'd be a little bit more surprised if Mollett makes his way all the way back to the 3-1-3. Am I a DJ? No, I am not a DJ at all. Everyone, please send a sub and check out Big Play Detroit Sports, our legend Herman Moore and his new channel. Okay, yeah, guys, go check out Big Play Detroit. That's our guy Herman Moore over there doing great work. Mas Tequila. I'm not a DJ. No, I'm not a DJ. It's like a tsunami in the brain. Exactly, Rick, dude. That's a really good description of it. A tsunami in the brain. That is really, really good and scarily accurate if you know how it all works out. That's what caused the knockout. I learned to do that on purpose. See, American boxer, you understand? It's the transition of energy and the whipping of the head around. It's not the impact as it is. Think of it. It's not the impact. It's the bounce. It's your brain. Think of your brain as like a basketball, and you chest passed it. Wow, I sound like an old guy. You chest passed it against like a wall, right? Well, that ball is going to bounce back to you. It's the bouncing against the wall. Well, that wall is your skull. And it's bouncing. That's trust me. I've got done had a few of them there concussions in my day. We used to just call it getting your bell rung and get back out there. You know what I'm saying? That's what we used to call it. So what if the Lions roll out McNeil, Reeder, Lopez, Tyleek, and Hutch with J.C. Branch at linebackers? Oh, okay, Roy. Roy going with a little so would that be a 5-2? You talking rolling the old 5-2 there? McNeil, Reeder, Lopez, Leak, and Hutch. Yes, you're going to 5 down. I'm guessing that would take care of the 6-0 lineman. You're 100% right, Blizz. I guess in that situation, I'm not necessarily mad about it. Just if we were to go with a 5-2 front like that, like you're talking, I would really like to see Hutch in a 2-point stance, kind of roaming as a outside linebacker, not so much getting his hand in the dirt. Say, little man next to me is the worst case of brain damage they've ever seen. They don't know how he's still alive. God is great. Damn, Rick. Brother, prayers. Seriously, dude. I know I don't get too much into it because, and I don't, we don't need you telling, explaining it all. But seriously, bro, it sounds like you're having a pretty rough go of it, dude. And I really do hope. I know it's weird, dude. I was thinking about you just the other day for some reason. I was like, I know he's kind of said about your son having a kind of a rough go of it, dude. And man, we're thinking about you, brother. It's rough. God is great, dude. Keep sending up prayers, brother. I hope the little man pulls through, dude. He's a little ass kicker going on over there, dude. You know what I'm saying? I like Muhammad for the pass rush, but he doesn't do well against the run. American boxer, and that's kind of the thing is. I made that argument early on back when we Godspeed to the best life and quick recovery. Rick said, hell yeah, guys. That's why I love you, Mad Hatter Nation. You guys like share the love with one another. American Boxer, though, dude, that was a point that I kept making in the offseason when people were all up in arms about Zadarius Smith. Oh, we got to get Zadarius Smith. Fuck that shit. Zadarius Smith was a third down pass rush specialist who statistically put up the same number of sacks as Al-Qadim Muhammad did last year. Al-Qadim Muhammad does the exact same things as Zadarius Smith. Cannot stop the run to save his ass. And I guess we're not even going to ask him to at this point. We're going to go with that heavy package more often than not, try and stop the run. And if that's what works, that's what works. I want Ahmed Hassanin to get a few reps at the defensive end before the season's all said and done. But I still think Al-Qadim Muhammad is a relatively decent third down pass rush specialist. He was executing at a higher level than Zadarius Smith was last year, and he's still relative. I mean, I think he's at 5 or 6 sacks this year, which is a complementary piece, not the complementary piece that you want outside of Aiden Hutchinson. You want get Hutchinson 15 sacks. You want your complementary piece to be at that 9 to 12 point. When he's on, but sometimes Muhammad, and part of it is his build. He's, kind of like Hutch. He's a little bit longer, not a lot of lead in his ass, and can get bullied around, especially on the run plays. But to that upside, he also has that slippery versatility and that quick speed, a good spin move that can help him get home. I like Al-Qadim Muhammad as a pass rush guy, but he's not the long-term solution. He's a nice piece, but eventually we're gonna have to get the Robin for Aiden Hutchinson, and maybe Muhammad is a version of Robin. He's just Jason Todd, and if you get that joke, that's fucking wild. Prayer is always appreciated. Prayer is always sent, dude. Davenport's supposed to be back, and his bull rush is unmatched in this league. Yes, Raw Blitz. You are correct. He was only because of this injury. Case is ongoing. Oh, gotcha. Damn, Rick. Jeez Louise, dude. You're over here just like, and I'm not just saying this, you're over here like doing the Lord's work, brother. Holy crap. Raw. Yes, you are correct. Marcus Davenport does have a wicked bull rush. The problem is he gets hurt every time that he uses it. Bears a little man, we may need see a miracle for him. Hell yeah. Anyone heard confirmation? Jack, haven't heard confirmation, but he was a full participant in practice. It's all about pressure and containment. Entire game, the offensive line it's all about their blocking. They have to give Goff at least 3 seconds. Kerry, you're right. Everything starts up front, both offensively and defensively. How are you doing? Best Joey impression. Can Glasgow hold them back at center? Yes. American Boxer. I am actually a big fan of Tristan Colon. Did I say it right now, guys? It's not Colon. Tristan Colon. I think Tristan Colon has played the center position at the exact same level, if not slightly better than Graham Glasgow. I think Graham Glasgow was already taking big steps back last year. And then we put a little bit too much on his plate that he was ever possibly able to handle this year. He's struggling at times, middling at best, and is ultimately, between him and right now Awashika, they are about the same as which one is the Achilles heel of our offensive line. Just put Ahmed in and tell him to go find the effing ball. He'll get 12 sacks. Hell yeah, Kane. Someone's got to take care of these boys. Rick, dude, that's awesome, brother. That's absolutely awesome. Cologne is fisty. He's got are you saying he's got a pretty good punch there? And you know, a lot of the center position, you do rely on that punch because you're already kind of at a disadvantage having to operate your dominant hand to snap the ball. So being able to get a good punch, throw your guy off, it's a solid thing. It's something that maybe Awashika could learn how to use a little bit because he loves to put his nose 4.5 yards out over his toes and just let the defensive tackles just throw him around. If he could just like punch a guy, maybe slow him down a little bit. Feisty, gotcha. Football and this podcast help keeps me sane. Hey, man, you guys and football help keep me sane. So it's a symbiotic circle, right? Need a 6'0 lineman at fullback instead of tight end on the field. That will provide Glasgow with much-needed help. So Raw Blizz, my guy, we have talked about that numerous times here at the channel. And there is two beautiful options that the Lions have in-house that could play fullback at an absolutely crushing level. One is a defensive lineman, and I think Ahmed Hassanin would make an absolutely beautiful fullback in the NFL. And the other is I'm waiting for them to line up Giovanni Manu at fullback because why not? Why not? Let's go. Let's go super heavy package. I want Dan Skipper out at tight end, and I want Giovanni Manu at fullback, and I just want to line up and run it down their gosh dang throat. All right, guys, we already know that the Packers' defense is pretty good. We talked about this yesterday. We're not going to delve back into it today. I did want to bring up, though, briefly, some interesting stuff here. So Thanksgiving Day records, right? There are some statistical things that the Lions hold as the top dogs on Thanksgiving Day. Most career passing leaders, Matthew Stafford with 3,000 yards. Most passing touchdowns in a game was Peyton Manning back in 2004 and Bob Greasy in 1977. They both tied with 6 in one game. Rushing yards in a game goes to O.J. Simpson in 1976 with 273 yards. I can't wait for Gibbs to break that tomorrow. And career receiving touchdowns, who else? You guys, our boy Megatron with 11. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm sure you're asking yourself why the Lions and Cowboys always play on Thanksgiving. In 1934, G.A. Richards, then the owner of the Lions, scheduled a Thanksgiving game with the Bears. Richards went to create excitement around the Lions, who he bought earlier that year when they were the Portsmouth. Am I reading Portsmouth? Oh, Portsmouth Spartans. Richards moved the team north into Michigan and renamed them the Detroit Lions. The Bears beat the Lions 19-16 in front of 26,000 at the University of Detroit Stadium that year, but that didn't stop Richards. The Lions have hosted Thanksgiving ever since. The Cowboys joined the festivities in 1966, beating the Cleveland Brown Eyes 26-14 at the Cotton Bowl. Again, the intention was to generate national attention. General Manager Tex Schramm believed Thanksgiving would do so for the Cowboys. The listed attendance was 80,000 people, and Dallas has played on Thanksgiving ever since. The only exception was a brief interlude from 1975 to 1977 when the St. Louis Cardinals hosted the holiday game, a move orchestrated by Commissioner Pete Rozelle. The Cardinals didn't latch on popularity-wise, and the Cowboys returned to hosting. Very interesting record there, guys. So there's no real reason, other than all reasons. It's just a way to generate money. It was a marketing ploy. It was just a way to build a little bit of hype around a team and put some money in his pocket. So that's the whole real reason why we play on Thanksgiving, guys. It's the great American holiday, so why not play the great American sport on the great American holiday, you guys? Football, Glasgow problem is he's getting blown off the snap. Raw, dude, I know, dude. Him and Awashika both just get blown up right out of the box, dude. I have fat thumbs. It's all good, American Boxer. It's totally okay, man. You have fat thumbs, and I'm bad at reading, so it makes for a fun interaction. Thank God for capitalism. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, sweet, sweet capitalism. I am a free market capitalist, free market absolutist, you guys. I think the capitalism has lifted more people out of poverty than any other form of economic growth in the history of humanity. They made a mistake getting rid of Isaiah Williams. Could have used him. He would have been a nice little splash carry, but my thing is that if Isaiah Williams was here and he was playing to the level that, he is capable of, I don't think we would have ever seen our boy Isaac Tesla get drafted by the Lions. And take it or leave it, he is what he is so far. But I'm a big Tesla fan. I love the homer move. All right, guys, let's wrap this day up with shift some gears. I found this funny little video. Okay. So we've talked about AI before on this channel, and we're going to shift gears right out of football. And you guys know that I've dabbled with AI before. Half this country doesn't even know what capitalism is. Rick, I know, bro. I remember the days of Billy Sims, Eric Hipple, Doug. The hell'd you come from? So apparently one of my cats has been in here the whole time and just hopped out of a little hidey hole. And not going to lie, kind of startled me a little bit. The Soviet Union would have been better off with capitalism and their own football league. Yo. Parallel universe. The Soviet Union becomes a capitalist state. They then have football, and the Russian Football League becomes like basically the UFC, but with pads on, dude. Oh, man. Gibbs flaws, he had the privilege of running behind a great O-line in college and in the NFL so far. Monty was brought in Lions running behind a terrible O-line in Chicago. When we signed, he was asked, yeah, dude, you're right, dude. Gibbs has always kind of had a pretty cushy offensive line to run behind, especially in college. Could have took Laporta's place. It's possible, dude. It's absolutely possible. But I thought Isaiah Williams was more of a special teams guy. Anyway, so back to what we were saying here is you guys know that I've dabbled around with AI. I use fucking ChatGPT to help me construct my descriptions in the morning. And sometimes it's like, yeah, these AIs are getting a little out of control. But some of the Sora stuff is god dang funny, guys. So what I found here was CCTV Clip 67. They got 8,000 subscribers. And they've been playing around with some Sora stuff here. And we got Gunnery Sergeant Hartman visits Hogwarts. So if those of you guys who maybe don't know, Gunnery Sergeant Hartman is the fictitious character played by Gunnery Sergeant R. Lee Ermey, United States Marine Corps, made famous in the film Full Metal Jacket. So think of this as Full Metal Jacket versus Harry Potter. Probably won't sit through the whole thing. It's about 4 minutes. You kind of get the gist of it after a little bit, but it's pretty funny.
Hello, you fuckers! I'm back! And today I'm invading this spell-slinging, candle-floating, robe-wearing academy of magical nonsense called Hogwarts! If you're gonna study, study like you fucking mean it! Those books aren't gonna read themselves, sweethearts. Actually, in this place, they probably will. So move it!
Yes, sir!
What are you doing, waving twigs at the air? Put some fucking intent behind it. If you're going to make sparks, make them look like you mean it, not like you're shooing flies.
Yes, Sergeant.
I want to see fire that thinks it has a damn job to do. Now focus. Lock your eyes on that tip. Dare you call that mountain a fucking broom? I've seen better balance on a greased floor. Get your rear ends on that stick and act like you're ready to fly, not nap.
Sorry, sir.
Don't apologize, fix it. Legs over, center your weight, lock those knees. Stop looking at the Stop stirring like you're mixing damn pancake batter. This is a potion, not breakfast. And if that cauldron blows,
This is
you'll
a
be
potion,
cleaning
not
this
breakfast.
room with a toothbrush.
Yes, sir.
Eyes on your bruise, maggots. Look at this feast. I've seen field rations with less luxury. Sit up straight. Close your mouths when you chew. And stop eating like gremlins at a midnight buffet. And I told you that was fourth order transfiguration. Oh, hush, you don't know the half of it. Why are the walls talking? These paintings got more damn attitude than half the recruits I trained. Shut the fuck up. Who designed this fucking death trap? Stairs are supposed to go up and down, not sideways. Stop looking dizzy and keep your damn feet under you.
I love that line. Stairs are supposed to go up and down, not sideways.
Gunnery, Sergeant, which is harder, learning magic or surviving your training?
Harder! This place has floating candles and talking paintings. My world has screaming sweat and zero enchanted snack breaks. You'd better master both if you plan on surviving anything. Your form is a goddamn disgrace. You're supposed to practice magic, not start a fireworks show. Point, aim, and control that power before you redecorate the ceiling. It's a fireplace, not a thinking chair. Throw the token in with confidence or get out of the way before this thing coughs up another colorful disaster.
Yes, sir.
Move! Stand back! Reset that sequence! Who taught these feathered maniacs how to deliver mail? This looks like a damn postal emergency! Pick up these letters before someone gets pecked into oblivion! Stop flinging glitter at the fucking sky like you're decorating a birthday party! Aim that magic or I'll aim it for you! Looking like a damn fireworks stand out here. You with the green scarf, straighten that rod or I'll straighten your spine.
Yes, sir.
Focus! Lock onto your target. First, what the hell is that thing? And why are you all standing like fucking statues? Someone feed it before it decides to eat my entire rank insignia! You want a fucking duel? Let's see if you can handle some real firepower. Hold the line. That's all you got. Step it up, magician.
I love this Matrix
Come on,
shit.
you overgrown lizard.
Straight
Show
on
me what
video
you've
game.
got.
So you get the gist of it. Pretty funny at times. You can see where some of it kind of drops off, but not bad. Not a bad little dickery-do there over on some what is it? What was his name? CCTV clip 67. 67. You got a 69 before you can 67. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today's show. I think you need more than 12 attendees. Ain't that the shit, dude? Ain't that the shit? All right, guys. So today we talked about the Panthers, Trevon Moehrig, dick punching 49ers, Jauan Jennings, and he's getting suspended a whole game for that. Hopefully catching a fine, too, because it's got to be it happened during the game. You have to take equaled and slightly more aggressive punishment against him than he did against Brian Branch, because Brian Branch did it outside of the game. I know, we're splitting hairs here. The Lions waived 3 players, making room for some guys to return. Hopefully TA is one of them. Fortunately, we had to bid farewell to Nick Whiteside and Arthur Mollett, though I'm expecting one of those guys at the very least to bring back. And hopefully Arthur Mollett doesn't come back, because that means he has an opportunity elsewhere to be on an active roster. Go get it. Make the best of your opportunities, brother. We previewed how the Peckers have changed, at least offensively, from week 1. Not much has changed defensively. So offensively, sounds like they're trying to play a little bit of bully ball. So how can our defensive line hold up against a heavier set Packers offensive line? I think when you really measure it up assholes to elbows, we walk away from it with more muscle, more grit, and more determination to absolutely win. I'm expecting us to take care of business tomorrow, you guys. I am fully in anticipation of an absolute Lions throttling of the Green Bay Packers. We briefly discussed some interesting stuff that you can share with your family at Thanksgiving dinner on the history of the Thanksgiving Day games in the NFL. Who are some stat leaders and why and when, how the games came to be. Shout out capitalism. Let's go, boys and girls. And then finally, we briefly watched the AI video of Arlie Ermy at Hogwarts. Ha-ha. Very funny. Very funny. Ha-ha. Ha-ha-ha-ha. Already 15 inches of snow, western UP, and coming down hard. Whoa. Damn, dude. All right. So I'm kind of a weather guy. I was watching the Doppler, and it looked like up north is going to get lit up pretty good, but it doesn't look like down where I'm at necessarily so much. Jay, I got to ask the question then, brother. Are you in the UP, dude? Because that's wild, man. I got people from all over. American Boxers down in Texas. Derek Harp's over there on the West Coast. I got a boatload of you guys from Florida, and I tell you what, you Florida boys are going to eventually convince me to move my sorry ass down there to Florida because I don't want to deal with snow. Yes, I have this big, beautiful 2-stage snowblower, but the problem is I just don't like being cold. I don't like it anymore, guys. I'm more ready for the warm. Let's go. It's Wednesday. It's midweek, guys. Hopefully, you guys might just follow my daughter to Oklahoma. I don't blame you, Rick, dude. I don't blame you. There are some people who've talked very highly about Oklahoma. I've actually encouraged one of the UFL teams, the Houston Roughnecks. They need to move their team to Oklahoma so that you can have the built-in Red River rivalry in the UFL. But some people, I know some guys from Oklahoma, but I know a few people that lived in Oklahoma. I don't know anybody who still lives in Oklahoma, but that's because my network is very, very small. You know what I'm saying? But that's another. You guys get it, though. It's just after a while, the cold just starts to. You're just like, I'm fucking tired of dealing with this, man. You know what I'm saying? Check out the Rio Grande Valley, American Boxer. Dude, you know how many times I've almost moved to Texas, brother? Aren't you guys the fastest growing state in the union, too? And correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's the I want to say the San Antonio area. I think I'm not maybe it's Austin. But one of the major metropolitan areas of Texas actually did something very interesting with housing in that they let new homes get built, which then led to the decrease in home costs. So very interesting. Up to 40 inches possible. That's what I tell Hatton boobs every day. I've been in Michigan damn near 40 years. I've definitely had enough of it. Me too, Rick. Damn, dude. So, Rick, are you from Michigan then, bro? Because I'm 37. I've lived here my whole life. In Green Bay now, family up there. Gotcha, Jay. So you, oh, damn, Jay, you're out there in the heart of the enemy, huh? Austin traffic sucks. So does Dallas traffic. I go to Texas. It will be east of Dallas. Yeah. What was it? Denton. I knew some people from Denton, Texas. That's isn't that on the west side of Texas? I think. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure though that if I ever were to go to Texas, I'd want to go like northern Texas because it's. Again, I'm a whiny little bitch. I don't like the heat. I don't like the cold. But I do like the tax rate in Texas. I do like the tax rate in Texas. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. I appreciate each and every one of you. One last look at the poll here. How are we feeling? Who shoulders the load Thursday for? The Lions getting the W. Ground and pound walking away with 62% of the 24 votes. 8% of you say Goff in the air attack, and 29% of us say defense wins championships. I want to say shout out to all of you that took time and voted in your poll, or in my poll. It's near Dallas. Gotcha. I was born in Michigan, but I've spent time in other states. My stepsister lives in Denton. No shit. What a small world, guys. What an absolutely small world. It is. We're all just like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and make sure you guys have liked the video, subscribed, bell on, share this around. It's the best way to grow this. If you're bored later tonight, come back to the video. I could use a hype, drop a hype on it. It takes a few hours for it to process. That'd be absolutely golden if you're able to do that. If not, it is Wednesday. Guys, it's the day before Thanksgiving. So just let me just be this guy for a minute. Be very careful out there. It's the biggest drinking night of the year. All right. People are going to be out doing stupid things. All right. This is when depression really spikes. And this is when people's egos are going to start to get a little bit out of control because they're going to get a little too much of the holiday spirits, a little too much liquid confidence. So, just be smart. Be safe out there. Keep your head on a swivel. Don't do nothing stupid. It's Wednesday, and at least for me, we start the holiday weekend, which is a good thing. Hopefully you guys have a holiday weekend as well. If not, grind it out. We'll be right back here tomorrow morning for you guys around 11 a.m. I can't guarantee that it'll be exactly 11 a.m. Again, Hat and Boobs and I got to get up and go to church. I think church runs until 10 o'clock. I like to have about an hour of prep time. So we'll kind of see, but we will be live doing our digital tailgate. And guys, remember, the digital tailgate, way more loose tie. Our hat's a little bit more undone. We're just kind of taking your super chats, hanging out, placing some bets, getting your input. And, to be fair, a lot of you guys turn up to the Sunday show, and there's some of you guys I don't see on the Sunday show. And to be honest, that's cool. I totally appreciate it. But those of us who are here, they're wondering where you're at, man. They want to hear from you. They want to know why you're not here hanging out, helping to make us some dollars and grow that charitable fund. So if you think about it, tune in tomorrow. We'll be right here hanging out. Got that notification bell turned on. It'll send you a push button notification. We win big tomorrow. I know it. Derek Harp, what's up, brother? I was just talking about you being out there in California. Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, of course, passing through to get to those states. Damn, dude. Damn, Rick, you lived all over, brother. Happy Thanksgiving and stay safe. Jay, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well, guys. Make sure that you guys keep our family here at Mad Hatter Nation in your prayers, all right? Rallin, brother, about to welcome his beautiful baby to the world. That's absolutely awesome. Shout out to Rallin, dude. Rick C., keeping you and your family in our thoughts and prayers, all right, brother? Keep fighting, dude. That's all you can do. Do the best, absolute best you can. All right, man. We're here for you. My in-laws already have MAGA stickers. That's awesome, dude. Put Trump stickers on your in-laws' cars when not looking. My in-laws, not so conservative. As a gag last year, I bought Hat and Boob's mom Michael Knowles' book, Reasons to Vote for Democrats. And check it out. It's a blank. There's no words. It's pretty good stuff. So, guys, happy Thanksgiving. Stay out of trouble if we don't see you. Enjoy your time with friends, family, doing whatever it is that you do, man. And we'll be right here waiting for you Friday morning. Hopefully it'll be a big victory Friday. But, do the things. I've been Hat and Beard. You've been an attentive audience. Until then, bonga bonga. Frig off.